The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
What is up, everybody? Hey, how's it going? We're here. It's Friday. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Apparently, everything worked right on the stream. I can see myself looking at myself. But hey, guess what? We're gonna have some fun tonight. We got a few people dropping in. I got one that's on the way. One says they're gonna be here. I got two fellas with me, and it must be the Grim Reaper done brought him back. Because look who's back from the dead, Dr. Coffindales and David in the house. What's up?
Well, you know the Grim Reaper. He's got standards. Yes,
yeah. Apparently, Dr. Coffindales didn't meet that.
Well, you know.
But hey, we're happy that he survived. We're happy
good to be among the land of the living, even if it's just due to technicality.
You out Chuck Norris.
That's right.
You came back from dead.
He says hi, by the way.
Oh, good. I'm glad. He's happy.
Jack says, "Stop stealing my thunder, Doc." Pushed you out of the way.
Yeah.
He's saved by Chuck.
I gotta say, the memes and the AI creations since his death have been amazing.
Oh yeah.
Roundhouse kick. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Seen that? Oh, that's awesome. Look up Chuck Norris Roundhouse meme.
Roundhouse. Channel Dad's on his way. He's being a little late. We got the super fan that's on his way also. He said that he would be here soon. So, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see him when he gets here. It's been a hot minute. I still have his music on my soundboard. So when he gets here, we'll do a little jingle for him.
Okay.
But housekeeping, I guess. Today was my daughter's birthday. She turned 7.
Oh.
And she said the only way that I could go live tonight is if I brought it up and we wished her a happy birthday. So happy birthday to my daughter. She's 7.
Happy birthday.
It's happy birthday.
Thank you. We had a fun day today. It was a yes day. So today is her yes day because it's her actual birthday.
Oh, yeah. You got to say yes
to the birthday party. Then Sunday we get an actual break, and then Monday is my son's birthday.
Okay.
He turns 5.
Whoa.
And he's excited for it. So,
you know what I did when my son said, touch your computer? Okay, when you're 5, you can touch your computer. He's getting all excited. Comes up. I says, okay, you can touch this little spot here. And as soon as he touched it, I said, you're done. Now, back off.
Nice. So for a while I had Game Pass on my computer, and I told my wife like which games and stuff he was allowed to play, which was Forza 5. And that boy would sit in here for hours just destroying. I mean, like, not like in a bad way, but like he was a very good driver.
Yeah. My son was endless on Minecraft.
He's never played that game. I would like for him to get into it, but I don't know.
Then he discovered robot fighting, then basketball.
Hey, we gained a few subscribers on YouTube. We're up to 290. So yay! I'm about to make 10 more just to do it myself. Yeah.
I've seen subscriber growth on my main channel, but not on my secondary channel. Not much, no.
Yeah.
Not much on the gaming channel.
So
it's good, it's up and down.
Yeah. Are we so what do we think about Artemis? I mean, that's kind of a topic right now.
See, I know it's a very hot topic that and it's very controversial to bring it up on YouTube because a lot of people are pointing to stuff and saying, there's glitches, but I saw people are starting to go through the fact checking on the glitches, and actually pointed out that the glitches themselves were AI and were not in the actual footage.
Really?
You're so careful now on X that even if you see something posted, you've got to wait for the fact checkers. And I don't mean your Facebook fact checkers from China. I mean the actual audience to go through and find it. People are scanning everything now on X because they're finding so much fake material, claiming that there's this scene in Artemis where he had that round ball, the semi-deflated ball that he was spinning.
Yeah.
And it was all deformed. Well, apparently someone had photoshopped green screen aura on it in the original, because you blow it up in the original Fox. On Fox, they exposed green screen. And then someone went through the Fox archives, finally found the original footage, and compared it to the raw Artemis footage and to the video claim, and said, look, the video claim has extra material, so it's fake.
So people are making fake things to make them look fake, is what you're saying. That's crazy.
Yeah. But I think one of the things that people are pointing out is true, that there's a 12-hour delay on the broadcast.
You think? I don't know. I heard something about there was supposed
they
to
said
be...
it was live, but some people have said no. There's a delay. There's a big delay. That the NASA is storing the footage and broadcasting it on a delay, just in case they have an accident.
Well,
that would make sense.
If they're like, if they're around the moon, there's automatically a 7-second delay in there.
Yeah,
at least.
I'm talking about a 12-hour delay in case there's.
Yeah.
Well, they feared a spacecraft rupture because the toilet was leaking.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That was
a leaking
actually
toilet
that's a
could
design
mean that it's
flaw.
Could do that.
It's a design flaw. It gets flushed too many times. The stopper breaks and the gas exit valve can open, and that will actually either let methane from the storage bag into the cabin. But if the storage bag ruptures, it actually can leak into space, and you now have a slow air leak, which can rupture the craft. So they're fixing that on the new.
Either one of those is really bad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, they had they were really literally panicking when they found out there was a rupture in the toilet. They're hoping that the storage bag won't rupture because it's the only thing stopping leakage into space.
I heard that was also a plot point on an episode of Big Bang Theory a few years ago, which is kind of funny. Yeah.
Yes, the toilet malfunction, where instead of after a certain amount of flushes, it would reverse.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's art imitating life again.
The thing is, in a space toilet, when you press the flusher, right, it's got an extra spindle, and when that spindle turns around, it opens one lock and closes the other. And if it gets too loose, it opens both. The one is still open while the other one is closed. So they're opening and closing at the same time. So you actually get the Schrodinger's incident of they're both open and closed at the same time. And you get a air leak there as well. That was actually a real thing, except it's explosive decompression, which empties the bag in both directions because it is under high pressure.
Artemis 3 is next year, and that's going to be Earth orbit where they're just testing a lot of stress. They're stress testing a lot of systems.
All the new change.
And then Artemis 4 in 2028, that'll be where they will supposedly land on the moon.
They have to fix a lot of design issues with crew, cabin, and stuff that come up during the mission saying, well, this didn't last as tested.
So, okay, why is it? Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I've been letting just sit there backstage.
Oh, sorry, Late.
Sorry, dude, why didn't you text me?
Hey.
All right, I'm just listening, man.
Hey, so one thing that's just kind of caught my attention with what you said. So they're waiting to go to the moon on in 28?
Correct. Yes. They still have to test a lot of stuff.
Why?
The lander, the oxygen scrubbers, they all have to survive for at least 3 days continuous operation, longer than the current mission.
Hold up.
To test it,
just wait. Let me cut you off real quick.
Yep.
You mean to tell me that we did it in 1969 and we still got to test stuff out to do it again?
Yeah, it's all new technology.
It's all new technology.
We didn't.
A lot of the stuff
was
made by engineers who are no longer alive to make them.
So how does that happen?
Chain of quality.
Right. Because we did it all with technology that's totally outdated. I mean the compute. I mean, there's more processing power in my iPhone than there is in the room size computer that sent us to the moon.
And I understand that. I understand that. But if you look, I mean, if you look logically, if you look at it, how is it that we are now having to retest stuff? Like why
it's all new systems?
It's all new systems, all new materials, all new ways of doing it. And the problem
if it worked with crappy systems and crappy stuff, why ain't it working with our stuff?
Because they don't have the engineers who made it.
Send a monkey up here. It'll be fine.
No, there was no continuance of education. After the Apollo missions were scrapped, nobody learned how to make an Apollo. Nobody learned how to make
If they sent a monkey up there would be an outroar. We wouldn't hear the end of it.
Almost let an entire series of systems go for 20 plus years without anybody learning how to fix them or make them.
They never updated them. I mean, if we would have just kept going instead of stopped for 55 years or whatever, it all would have been updated naturally, and we wouldn't have to do this.
Yeah. Now,
I find that really odd.
It is because they stopped. Full stop. Yeah, they didn't do a slowdown or keep up maintenance when they said, "Oh, we're not going to the moon anymore." They literally shelved all the technology. They didn't write anything down in the manuals, and the engineers died without passing on most of their experience.
It's crazy. I mean, if you ever seen it's crazy what they don't keep. I mean, they don't seem to care about. Like if you've ever seen the movie For All Mankind, this guy got a bunch of footage that was just rotting in NASA vaults and put together. It's like, why did we go to the moon if we're not going to at least have a recorded record of it? So it's like, let me have all this footage and put together a narrative from all the Apollo missions, from beginning to end, and make a movie out of it. It's a really good movie. I highly recommend it. It's called I think it's called For Mankind, For All Mankind. But I mean, some of that footage was going to be lost.
Yeah. I forget who said it, but someone said, "Oh, they'll never deny we went to the moon. Everybody saw it." And it's like, no, they didn't. That's the point. You're always going to have that contrarian who will never believe, or the outstanding critic who wants to always be wrong. You know that, right? There are people who love being wrong, rage baiters. they drag society down so hard with they can't just accept, oh, right, I can't explain it. I've seen it, I can't explain it. Right.
Right. And I'm talking about For All Mankind, the 1989 documentary, not the more recent TV series. So they let this stuff even just this was just 20 years out later.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff was in danger of being lost forever. It'd been mislabeled. I mean, it's like you'd think you'd care about this stuff a little bit more. But it's like,
no, Obama literally had all the cards. Okay, when it went to the moon, there was a relay, right? Recording all the cards, all the telemetry, all the data. It was being processed and sent back on it, and like they literally had updates like throughout the entire mission, getting longer and longer apart. And they literally had to have all these pre-programmed stuff and hope that everything was accurate. And all those cards were destroyed by Obama because he said, oh, they're not significant.
Boy, that doesn't surprise me considering some of the other asinine things he did. Like
if I see another YouTube notification with Obama on it for for please vote yes for gerrymandering, I'm gonna throw my phone out the window.
I am so sick of getting political ads with celebrities.
I'll be glad when the midterms are over, let me put that way.
I'm getting celebrity ads. You know what? This is why celebrities, right? They always go out. A lot of people wonder why celebrities go out. They're constantly whining about the Republicans. It's because, one, they're lining up to be paid by the Democrats. Two, they don't get work unless they align with the Democrats, right? There's a lot of bias in Hollywood. Three, they're absolutely under pressure by the unions to promote it's called Literacy of the Arts. You ever heard of it? It's a program to keep arts in education. You know, high funding for arts in schools and universities, etc., all the way through to Hollywood. Government funding of the arts. They don't get their little rewards, you know, like invites to the parties, etc., which is all controlled by the unions. Everything in Hollywood is controlled by the union, right? Even the studios. And it's all political and all politicized. I mean, literally someone said when George Clooney became a billionaire endorsing the DNC, everybody from Cynthia Nixon to Harrison Ford joined the gravy train. You know?
Oh yeah, they probably looked at his net worth before and after that and said, "Hey, sign me up."
Yeah, some fundraiser.
Look him up on celebritynetwork.com. Holy, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, you look at what George Clooney recently made $12 million. You make $12 million from a fundraiser. That's ridiculous. That's money that should be going to education, not to the freaking arts.
Well, a lot of money diverted to things it shouldn't be diverted to.
Yeah, but that's why they do all these endorsements.
Like most of our tax dollars, for example.
Yeah. And the problem is you're now getting this grift on the right. Now, I am not saying that Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, and Candace Owen are grifters. I'm saying a lot of people are telling me they are grifters. And trying to explain in detail why they are grifters. And it makes sense to me, and particularly with Alex Jones. Alex Jones became a right-wing grifter a long time ago when he needed funding, right? Sold out to a water filter company, right? Every second, how many times has he mentioned water filter per hour?
Well, Alex has money problems. He needs
recently.
He needs a filter.
In years, but
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but recently he got into bigger money problems, and his sponsors are keeping him afloat. Yeah,
just barely.
Barely. They can't. Well, they can't give him too much money because if he has any excess over and above regular income, the government takes it off him and gives them to the Sandy Hook parents. He's in.
There's your grift.
Yeah.
All the things that they claim that didn't happen.
Yeah, hold on. Don't get Seth. Yeah. Just we can say as much as using dead kids to make money is deplorable, but we can't say anything else about Sandy Hook.
Let's not get a multi-billion-dollar judgment against our host.
No, I'm not talking about the event itself. I'm talking about the things that they claim that never happened.
Right. Yes. Right. Yes, there were many claims made about Sandy Hook that did not happen, and Alex Jones doubled down on
the event
for rage bait.
Right.
But the thing is, lawyers who were also FBI agents allegedly manipulated the data to pretty much fix Alex Jones up as a nut job, thinking they could destroy him. And unfortunately, it sort of propped him up. Because don't forget, the Alex Jones brand was dying after his divorce.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know he had a Jewish wife, so he lost a large chunk of his audience. A lot of people started to hear about his stories were fake about his dad in the hospital. So that lost a lot of audience. His arguments with Owen Schroyer and others lost him audience. The splitting up of his team lost audience. He was on the ropes. They didn't have to sink him. But, the Democrats and their revenge fantasies, it has to be us. We're the ones who have to throw the final, nail on the coffin, He was sinking himself. Rage baiting.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's become a radio star through rage baiting, and he's kept alive by his sponsors who keep him caught between bankruptcy and real bankruptcy. You know what I mean?
What do you think of his son?
I think his son's denounced his father again, hasn't he?
Oh, has he?
No, he works for him.
I thought he worked for him.
Yep.
I thought they had a falling out again. Or
did they?
Not unless it happened yesterday, because he was mentioning 2 days ago that someone asked him, and Rex was actually working in the building on something.
Okay.
So I heard, he had a falling out with his producer, and I thought Rex was his producer.
No, I don't think Rex does that. No, I think David Knight was the first one they had a falling out, and there was someone else that he had a falling out with around that. That was years ago. Well, Owen Schroyer was last year. Last summer. And I still don't know how much of that was theater and how much of that was real. That really felt like it was a split. Right. We had a discussion when it happened, but it really felt like Owen needed to separate, and it almost was like a two-way drama. Like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to argue, and then you're going to be bigger or something like that. I don't know for certain, but
no, we're going to have an argument so that we can separate you, and they could say, well, we can't include Aaron Schroyer in the lawsuit because he argued against Alex Jones and tried to stop Alex from saying those things.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
What's the deal with Alex? Like, why did Trump go after Alex?
Trump has got there's lots of Trump's under a lot of stress too, and I'm wondering if they also injected him with the stuff because his actions are
a little.
It started when Elon left, and it's just getting worse. And the people who were never Trumpers, so Mark Levin and others, now have absolute control over him.
Yeah.
Who?
Trump.
Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, Candace Owens. Oh, Candace Owens.
No, she's out.
Yeah.
So
Tucker goes in and then got kicked out. But Tucker's
and they keep finding various Israeli agents keep leaving various trackers and things in the White House on vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
now
it's very crazy.
Get it. I get why Elon had to leave because his time was up and he felt that he could get it extended, but he couldn't. He think that Trump didn't put in enough effort. No, that was Congress. That was Harry Potter Jr., whatever the speaker's real name is, I forget. I don't care. He would not extend Elon's.
I keep forgetting he's there unless he'll come up in a conversation or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
When you have a special counsel or a special employee of the state or federal government, there's oversight, and that is usually in the federal government congressional oversight. And Congress said, no, we're not going to extend Elon's time at Doge.
Yeah. And they didn't hardly do any of that stuff. Yeah. And then you get.
Hold on. They said it was a conflict of interest because Elon was up for a contract for the Dragon ship for Artemis 3. You cannot bid on a government contract while a government employee. It was a technical thing that Elon just could not let go. But everybody's saying that mini Harry Potter was right. It is the law.
Yeah. But yeah, and they didn't do enough with what Doge was doing, and they've kind of let all that seep back in.
Again, that's congressional fault. Everything Trump did had to get congressional approval.
Yeah.
And they're saying, you're taking us for granted, so we're going to cut you off. So he giveth with one hand and taketh with the other, and that is the way the government works, right? Pretty much, don't they?
Sure seems that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. But the reason why Trump particularly went after Alex Jones is because he called Trump a demonic force under the acting as a supervillain for foreign influences. Just say Jewish people, okay, Alex? Mm-hmm. Just come out and say that you're on the Tucker, that you and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens have joined the Iranian-Qatar alliance, which is actually, according to some people, is funded by China. So you want to talk about foreign influence, Alex Jones? Look at your sponsors and where the money's coming from, because you're the one who's sounding like a demon right now. It's the Jews, I tell you. Well, Jewish derangement syndrome is just as bad as Trump derangement. And there are some people you just can't tell. It's not all Jews.
Well,
and the Netanyahu faction and the Soros faction are the same demon on the same horseshoe, right? Whether they be left or right, they would do the same thing.
I mean, Alex is a broken man. I mean, who wouldn't be when they have a multi-billion-dollar judgment? That who knows if he's ever going to get out from under? I don't know how he will.
Well, he wants back at Trump because Trump wouldn't use judicial, extraordinary judicial measures. Right. But I thought extraordinary judicial oversight comes from the Senate, not from the president.
Right, and it would. And he's got enough legal issues without helping out Alex Jones anyway.
But like I said, I believe the president can't intervene. It has to be the Judiciary Committee, and I believe it's the Senate Judiciary Committee, not the
I don't think there's anything he could do about it anyway. No, there's nothing he could do.
No, there's nothing the president could do. Alex Jones is just a bitter sore loser who was offered many off-ramps by his friends for over a year, and he wouldn't take it because he wanted the fight, because he wanted the ratings, he wanted the rage bait, he wanted to stick. He thought he was sticking it to Bill Gates for some reason.
Do you think though? All right, there's been a lot of speculation about what's actually going on because why Trump went after him, Candace Owens.
Well, they're part of an alliance that's been funded by China allegedly through Qatar.
Who?
Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson.
Well, Candace Owens is just out of her frickin' mind. Have you?
Yeah. There's no evidence of that, Dave. That's the problem. That is speculation.
Speculation, exactly.
All three of them are separated from Trump for very different reasons. I think Candace has gone way off the deep end. To me, of the three, she's the one that she's a unwitting purveyor of false information, right? She's got
she's also
that are just feeding junk. just feeding her nonsense.
Did you
try
hear
and bring down the alt rights?
She's a bitter
position.
Did you hear the sound bite where she's talking about she didn't know that thunder was the sound that was caused by lightning? I mean, come on.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've never
come on.
cared for her, even when I agreed with what she might be saying. And then Tucker, he's had some run-ins with Israeli agents that shook him up and got him to start looking at different things. But I do agree that it is the same demonic force. We're dealing with a very secular government in Israel. It's not one based on the Old Testament. And Bibi, if it's out of a war posture, is going straight to prison because he's found guilty.
I've heard people that are thinking that Israel is not the same chosen people that were supposed to be.
No,
the Bible talks about that it's mainly the Canaanites.
Right.
Yeah,
Israel's occupied by the Canaanites.
In the book of Revelation, it talks about the 144,000. And there's lots of ideas of who that is, but one of the stronger ones is those are the only real Jews, will say, real Israelites who accept Christ at the end and are saved. Yeah. Now, I don't know if it's a symbolic number or a pure number, but it's one of those things that. But so you have after 70 AD and the Jews are scattered, and then when is it the Babylonian Talmud comes in? I forget, several hundred years later.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know I've run into people who want to blame the Jews for the Quran, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Well, Muhammad allegedly was a Jew. That's as close as you can get.
Yeah, if Muhammad even existed. I mean, there's
a guy who breaks it all down. It was actually a title, not a single person.
Well, it was Mahmoud with before the
Mahmoud. Yes,
Mahmoud or something like that.
Yeah,
because before the vowel sounds were added, it was said differently, and that's what's on the Dome of the Rock, is it's spelled that way without the vowel sounds, and it's also Mahmoud.
The original Mahmoud did travel from Jerusalem to Saudi Arabia, did take over Medina. He was a warlord. He united the tribes known as the Asar, who became known as the Assassins, and that's how Islam spread initially. Now, the allegation is that over 8 generations of Mahmuds put together the original documents that later became known as the Quran. That's why it's so haphazard and spread over time. It's not written by one individual.
Well, and we've got, isn't it in some historical sites where one of the guys in mid 8th or early 9th century burned all the other copies. There were multiple copies that didn't agree, and someone collected. They said this is the thing, and they collected everything else and burned them.
Yes, there was known as the great. It was known as a cleansing. They went through, got all the holy texts they could that contradicted the Quran, but it didn't go past what the Caliphate. That was. And it was much smaller then than it is now. But from that came a scattering where you had the first schism in Islam, where many grabbed the original text and said, no, this is unholy. And that's where you have the scattering of Islam across North Africa, across the Persian and through the north. Now, 2 things. Saudi Arabia used to be predominantly Jewish. Most of the Jews or the Israelites are actually still descendant in Saudi Arabia. Right? When the Muslims took over, most of them converted. Those who didn't were scattered. But those who remained in Jerusalem, even today, they're not considered Jewish. They're not considered Jewish or Israeli citizens. They're Jordanians.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all of the Semitic group.
Yeah.
So
but they're scattered. But Israel is bigger than Judea, and Judea is the land that was promised, right? The Romans and other conquerors all promised that tiny bit of land will remain theirs. Where they get this whole "it's ordained by God" business from, I can't say.
Well, that comes from is that Deuteronomy? But that's when he tells Abraham his descendants will rule from the Euphrates to, well, some say the Nile, but there's a wadi in Egypt, but all of them are descendants of Abraham.
Yeah,
it's not just the Jews; it's all of the Semitic Arab, that region.
And they keep talking about the lost tribe. No, there is no lost tribe. They're Saudi Arabians. They've chosen to be disconnected from
Back to Seth's original question, I don't know what to fully make of it anymore, because I've even seen discussions of DNA, and each side claims, oh yeah, this proves that we're of, and this proves that they're not. I'm just looking at it from a religious standpoint. At best, they follow the Babylonian Talmud. They don't follow Torah. So in every time that even in the Old Testament, every time that people turned from Yahweh, they got invaded, right? And it wasn't until they came back in repentance that their blessing returned. So I'm just going to use that as the standard that says, okay, whatever label you're going to claim, that's okay.
The Bible tells us
the requirements are to come back into repentance, to be in alignment with Yahweh. And until that happens, they're just sinners like all the rest of us.
The Talmud is a Masonic Jewish template for allegedly bringing about the Messiah. Okay,
right?
But they want a Messiah. This is the story of June, where a group of secularites working within another religion want to bring about their religion through controlled breeding to create a Messiah.
So, but anyway, that's where I fall in it. I don't, whatever label's fine. I don't care.
No, but I'm just saying.
Right. But what I'm saying is, in the Old Testament, the covenant is under the sacrificial system. In the New Testament, it's under Christ's death and resurrection. So you either accept the law, and there's the Deuteronomic law, or Levitical law, or it's grace, and any other things in between are something completely different. They have nothing to do with either of these. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. It's just different.
I know, but I'm just saying there's 400-year gap between the two, and in that time there were a lot of schisms in which different sects had their own interpretation, and the majority have accepted the Talmud for some reason.
But that's post. The Talmud is long after all that.
No, but what I'm saying is the roots. I meant the roots of the Talmud, or whatever, because we went from 18 Judaic traditions down to 3, and right now we have one. I forget which they call themselves now. I think they live in America predominantly, who denounce Israel, and they're predominantly working against Israel. You have the Assyrian Jews who sort of support Israel, but only in condition that Israel supports their claim to southern Syria. And then you've got the, is it the Kazai or the Sepedic Jews who are, Netanyahu's going to bring about the new age of Judaism, they're atheistic. Or secular, whatever you want to call them.
So it looks like there's arguments over the Talmud and when it is, but it looks like 476 is as AD is as old as it is.
Yeah.
And it's definitely put together by the 6th century.
Right, about the same. And then centuries later, you had a German who went through the Middle East creating translations. And apparently these translations led to more schisms. And though in a series of wars, mostly undocumented, particularly with Islam, they have whittled down the number of sects. So you've got Sunni on one side, who used to be the terrorists, and then and they were opposed by the
Shia,
who used to be the peacemakers, and they're pretty much inverted.
And there was a third. There's a third one too, isn't there?
The Alawite in Syria.
Yeah.
There are other sects, but I'm talking about three major.
Yeah.
Schism. Yeah.
So
the Alawite are sort of between the middle, right? They will defend God to a point, but they won't commit terrorism or indiscriminate acts of violence, and they believe a lot of the things that are called kosher or halal are just inventions of man. Inventions of man using the Quran as an excuse, right? That God gave us joy, and that we should be able to experience joy without punishment. So there is a schism on interpretations, because remember, I brought it up before, the original Arabic did not have vowels. They were added later, about 8th or 9th century.
Yeah, I think it's at least the 9th century.
Right. And that's when the schism, that's when the descendants, there were two descendants of Muhammad, and both had very large families. And there was basically a civil war for the next 100 years in which all but a few were killed. Now, one of the last living descendants, I believe, is the King of Jordan.
Yeah. The initial system was 7th century, and what they call the modern system was the 8th century.
Now, there was a second schism. There's three schisms in Islam. The first schism came about the 9th century with the canonization of religious texts. Then there came the 14th century with the Ottoman text. And then in the 19th century with what's known as the German translation.
Oh, yeah. And isn't that the only book about Muhammad?
That's the only one that details Muhammad's life outside of the Quran.
Yeah.
And it contradicts the Quran, and it's based actually on the Saudi texts, which have now been denounced, and it's against the law to even have a copy in Saudi Arabia. It's also illegal in Saudi Arabia to mention that the country used to be Jewish.
So what book are you talking about?
It's a book called The Life of Muhammad.
Yeah, it's a German author.
He gathered all the historical texts and translated them. He excluded all the religious texts in the original works, but he later translated the Quran. And that's when things started to go astray, because there were multiple documents in different versions of Arabic. And there were also, he started to find Hebrew texts, and I forget the other name. What's the one for Assyrian? I forget. There was 3 different texts outside of the Arabic text. And these started to create more and more problems, because the Ottomans at least admitted they changed the Quran, but today's Muslims don't want to believe it. They think it's unchanged from God. And that's a powerful brain, we call it brain virus, or when you have a schism from reality.
Well, it looks like there's several of them, authors. You got Nagel, Nuldeca, Gregoire Schule. But
just Google it.
Das Leben des Mohammed. Yeah, the Life of Muhammad, 1884. That was by Creel. Yeah, that's by Rudolf Creel.
The Quran is one the Quran is one authentic Arabic text, but there are 7 recitations, as they call them now.
Yeah.
They don't call them versions. They're recitations, man. There's only one Quran, man. Even though it's historically was canonized in the 3rd Caliphate by Aftan. That's the first schism. but it was later. But 20 to 30 copies were widely circulated by the Turks, which eventually became the Second Schism, and most of the original Arabic texts were wiped out. Then the integrity was changed again across the centuries, with the Third Schism when the translations started to appear.
And I think, if I remember correctly, too, I want to say the oldest versions, oldest copies are from the north, and a lot of the way that it's set up, it's like someone was in the north and just wrote about the south, the southern part of and didn't get place names right, didn't get, the details aren't right, and there's a lot of evidence that the core of it is from Petra.
Right. Now, this became known as the Turkish Quran. It's widely believed the writer was writing stuff he heard from the recitations in the dome. Okay? He would sit there daily listening to the recitations in the dome, and he scrambled to write as much as he can. Later, these were published in Turkey in Arabic. So it became known as the Turkish Quran. And this was what our Ottomans used as the basis for their doctrine and conquest of the Middle East, and created what they called the authentic doctrine which is the Second Schism, right? And they created the Taliban, who would make sure that only the authentic Quran would be rewritten and recopied. Over time, right, you could have the old books as long as you didn't copy them again, you didn't preach from them or anything. But over time, they eventually were outlawed, and a lot of them were destroyed. But that's what the Taliban originally was. They were the student. It means student of Quran, right? Student of religion, actually. They used to be students of all religions when Saudi Arabia was a multi-ethnic, multicultural society. But series of wars did away with, and interbreeding did away with that. That's why you got all these weird tribes with weird names that are not Arabic, because the people weren't Arabic. There were Indians who settled there. There were Jews who settled there. Like Arabs are a mixed race people, right? You got Africans from Ethiopia in the south. You had Jews in the north, all the way to Jerusalem. You had Christians. And most of the center of Saudi Arabia was an open, empty desert, which nobody crossed because it was easy to go around by ship and safer.
I gotta take dogs out.
Okay. Well,
it's just crazy that history becomes so corrupted by the ambition of man.
Yeah. Well, it's always written by whoever wins, and you never know exactly what really happened.
Yeah, and then you get people, and Alex Jones is a prime example of what happens when you have the commentators of history get corrupted by politics. There's no evidence that Trump is demonic. Trump thinks it's a foolish thing to call him a supervillain and a waste of time and effort. That's just fueling the Democrats. If you really want change, Alex, you have to be the positive force. Right? You have to. This is a common theme in America. I don't know how common. Doc, how many times have you noticed lately in the last couple of months there's been no honest debate? Everything's devolved to a smear campaign.
Or it looks like it's engineered.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, but that's everything. Everything is turned into a smear campaign.
Yeah.
You can't have any kind of conversation with anyone without it being a negative.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's actually a Nazi tactic. Did you know that?
No.
That's in the 1920s, the Nazis used smear campaigns and vitriol to basically lower the to increase the temperature and lower the IQ of debates to the point where you couldn't debate a Nazi because they would just adamantly browbeat you time after time with insults.
Gotcha.
Kind of like Destiny.
Yeah.
If you know who that is.
I know Destiny. Yeah, I know. It's the same
That's
thing.
his whole method of debating is he just tries to talk over you real fast.
Hassan, you're a PDF, right? Bang. You're an Israeli dick rider. Bang. Just straight to the worst and most crudest and most idiotic claims. And that's where Alex Jones is headed with. And Trump is feeling disappointed. Now, Tucker Carlson, I believe, Tucker Carlson had a falling out with Trump because Tucker Carlson went through a traumatic experience when his friend died in Iraq.
What's the deal with that? Tell me. I haven't heard that.
I heard that Tucker Carlson had a journalist friend, who went on what was supposed to be a routine post-war interview. It was supposed to be in the green zone, all nice and safe, and no one knows what happened to him, but he came home in a body bag. And Tucker has been furious ever since. And something came up about it recently which triggered him again after his interview with Putin. And his interview with Putin is also the time they start getting harassed by the CIA. And Putin reached out and says, I know why you're being harassed by the CIA, Tucker. You have to be the one who has to tell the story, though. So I think Tucker went to Russia to ask them about his friend's death. That's the true purpose of the visit. Tucker doesn't know how his friend died. And he thinks the government's covering it up or lying. But it could be his friend at the CIA. And I think that's what Putin is alluding to. You're asking the wrong people the wrong questions, Tucker. And Putin's the one who would know, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I guess.
Well, Putin used to talk about a couple of topics.
But so did that? Do you think that death is what caused him to turn on Trump?
No, I think circumstances came up again about the death, and Trump is sticking by the official narrative that he was killed by a roadside bomb in Iraq.
Gotcha.
And Tucker thinks that's a load of horse hockey.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Probably was deliberately planted in his path. Now, we all know journalists are one of the, what do you call it, the tagged or the most, informed people in the world who get to access certain places. So every time journalists come into contact with another world leader, in private meetings or whatever, there's always going to be that tap on the shoulder and the guy with a badge puts you into an unmarked vehicle and takes you in for questioning. No such agency, right? It's not going to, Every country has no such agency, whether it's the NSA or the Special Intelligence Service in England, or the German Special Police. It's the same thing, right? Even in Spain, the Special Federales, they can whip people up into an unmarked vehicle and disappear you for 48 hours, and there's no habeas corpus. It's all national security. And they question you. And usually the average person doesn't last 24 hours. So, especially journalists who want to be hyper cooperative to keep their access to the government, right? And the celebrities of that nation. Or even just to be said, hey, if we could just not let you back into this country, that's a career killer, having a black mark against your name. It's just a crazy thing that's going on, and I do think it's a waste of time. But on the other side, it's a ratings bonanza for Alex Jones and Tucker, but it's been a ratings killer for Candace.
There's a lot of people speculating that, like, wouldn't what if Trump was highlighting these people?
Well, that's what he does, right?
I don't know. I mean, he's highlighting some people and going off on others. So realistically, like, what are we supposed to look at here?
The stories that he's...
Are Alex Jones, Candace Owen, and Tucker Carlson over the mark, and we're just missing out on something?
Well, I think that Trump is pointing out that this is what happens when you don't get your way, right? He's saying that these people did not get their way on the Iran war, and so they're having a childish hissy fit. Trump has been Trump, right? He believes as the president, if he makes a decision, you back it. If you don't, just don't come to him, and you can come to him and say, I disagree, and that would be it. But if you engage in any kind of attack on his personality or reputation, he's going to do the same back to you.
Yeah.
He's always been like that.
It's just odd.
Trump Trump tells you why. He said, MAGA is not all about winning. It's also about strength. And these people have no idea how to do that, but I do. So it's not just that you have to be about winning. You also have to have a kind of integrity, strength, right? The courage of your conviction. You have to have some sort of blind faith, I guess. Now, the president accuses them wanting Iran to have a nuclear weapon, criticism to go in, was publicity for their podcast, nut jobs and troublemakers. Now, Megyn Kelly is definitely a nut job and troublemaker. She has been exposed by Dave Rubin as little as 3 months ago, urging Trump to attack Iran. And the moment he did, she flipped. Same with Candace. Candace used to be saying, like, can't let them have the bomb. Now, from my understanding in many conversations, Iran has been doing this for 47 years. They'd enrich uranium. They'd get called out. The Europeans would come in and pay them off to stop doing it. And then eventually they'd get into financial trouble and they'd sell this enriched uranium to Russia and then go back to, and use the money to fund militias. But this time, Iran did not stop. They told the Europeans they stopped, but they didn't. Trump went to Europeans with intelligence and says, hey, guys, out of the deal. That's exactly right. Get a Soros. You see it all the time with Trump. He always goes for the biggest, right?
Yeah.
So Iran, for the last couple of years, has been lying about the enrichment. They've been showing the nuclear inspectors the Fordham site, right? Now, Fordham would have, I think, a small amount, which they would use for the reactor, and the enrichment was supposed to be just for efficiency, right? But what really was happening is every few days, they would get 20, 30% and then take it to a special site and get it up to 60% enriched.
Gotcha.
And then they'd store it underground. Now, the Europeans could not detect this, but the Americans started to notice this mountain started to shift and collapse. And that's when they got hold of some Israelis to go who had contacts deep inside Iran, deep embedded. These guys had to break cover to confirm that Iran did have a secret bunker there, and that's when they said, you know what, we have to start planning. We went to the Europeans. They're claiming now we didn't. Right? We never got consulted, which is a lie. Trump said, I consulted you a year ago, you lying bastards. And Mark Root confirmed this on CNN, which CNN then cut the interview short.
Hmm.
So this is when they decided to go in with bunker busters and bury this plant. They thought that was it, right? They'd come for, we'd bury it, and the Europeans would come in and inspect it. They didn't. They just ran around like chickens with their head saying, you got to give Ukraine more money. You got to help more Ukraine. And France talking about war in Ukraine, right? France has openly said by 2027, we want an open war in Ukraine. So does that mean they already have a covert war in Ukraine? Would that not be the suggestion?
I don't know. I don't know that anything's going on in Ukraine that's valuable information anymore.
I'm just saying, if you are talking about having an open war, that means you have to have some sort of covert war already.
Well, I mean, what is covert?
Proxy war, funding another group.
Well, didn't we just spend like 3 years doing that?
Yeah, but now they want an open war.
Well, I don't know, man.
So, European leaders and European diplomats and NATO are now at odds with each other because NATO wants a unified stance against Iran, saying that it is a threat.
Yeah.
Right? That Iran isn't just... It's not just the Iranian missiles. Okay. Iran can sell these missiles to North Korea, to anybody, to Russia, and they could start up building missiles again with China's help within a matter of months. China's just spent the last 10 years. This is how prepared this war is. In the last 10 years, China has shifted its ports from the Gulf to the open sea. They've had pipelines installed. They've built dozens of bunker networks. They put in radar stations and missile launches all over Iran, over 1,000 of them. They were in the process of building a huge railway across Central Asia, which would have eventually gone to Iran had there not been a...
I'm assuming that Rumble Sucks is Adam, and Adam needs to unmute his microphone and cut his camera on.
Yeah.
There it goes.
I already did do all that shit, then it did it again.
Does that to me too sometimes. It doesn't accept it doesn't accept it, yeah.
I even clicked the thing that says to allow it every time, and it still blocked it. Rumble sucks.
I like it, man.
Yeah, but it's got...
That means you're gay.
Oh, well, okay. Whatever.
You used to have that that GIF.
Yeah, it's still here.
Dude, it took me that entire time, and it still didn't verify the stupid phone.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with it. It works well for me now. Like it was a learning curve. It was a learning curve while I used it, but I mean, yeah, I've used it on my phone.
But are you using it on your phone?
I jumped on David's stream once with my phone. I mean, I didn't have a problem.
No, I've spoken to a number of people from Rumble, and they all say the same thing. They can't explain why some phones work and others don't. They just can't. No one can figure out why some phones have...
Because I'm on an iPhone 12 that I've never updated, and I was forced to update in order to even be able to go on StreamYards. Because yesterday I couldn't go on StreamYards without updating from 16.5 to 18. And it's all the fun. They want you to update. So in 3 years, I've never updated my phone, and everything worked fine.
I think it's because they no longer use any legacy coding from the original Java. They use it.
Yeah, no, they're redoing everything because now, like Chase wants you to be able to use your voice. They're adding shit you don't need.
Hey, Adam. I'll be right back
because they're all dumb. But yeah, man, it's like literally since 8 o'clock, I had to download the stupid Rumble on my phone. Then it made me do a studio on my phone. Then it made me redo everything. I was sending it to Seth because I'm like, I can't read this from a phone. I'm sight impaired, damn it. It should be as easy as you send me the link, I click on it, and it works. But no, not Rumble.
Nope, Rumble, that's what I mean. Rumble always has to be different.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
If I
when we
if I
first,
use the Rumble app, if I use the Rumble app, I do it on a tablet because it's just too small on the phone.
Yeah, when we first started doing this, man, it was very frustrating. But the more you use it, the easier it becomes.
it shouldn't be that way though. It should be as easy as why is it?
I mean,
again,
StreamYard was a learning curve too.
no, it wasn't. You clicked it and went. Like, there's never been an issue with StreamYards. Not like this.
I don't know, man.
And it's still free. You still can do 6 people for free on StreamYard.
Yeah, but you can't multi-stream, and that's what I want.
Who cares?
But I want that.
Yeah, well, that's why you pay for it, and I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to pay for something, especially if it doesn't pay you to do it.
It's really annoying when you have to upload everything to all the different accounts you have.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
not all of us.
I look at it different than you do. If you're not making money on it, why are you bothering to upload? You know what I mean?
Because it would be nice to eventually do that.
Yeah, but how many years are you going to do this? You've gone from every single streaming platform, including DLive. You know what I mean? We tried building all these new platforms. Now, if this one works for you, that'd be great. But again, if you're paying money out and you're not getting anything in return, do you really get that much watch hours on Twitter and Rumble and YouTube?
Yeah.
Well,
monetized?
We're gaining subscribers on YouTube. We gain subscribers on Rumble, and we gain, like, I've got 30 some people watching over on X.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If it never helps with YouTube or anything that builds that, you see what I mean? Like, to get you monetized.
And it's slow. It is slow. It's a lot slower. It would work a lot better if I would dedicate more time to it. But I don't have time to do it.
You don't have the time. But my question is, like, and again, you do whatever you want, but at the same time, the point is, this is the problem I had when you were doing DLive and all that other stuff. It never came back to YouTube. Therefore, YouTube will never be monetized. So what is the point?
It does come back to YouTube. Everything goes live off of YouTube, and then it's like mirrored. Oh, well, I mean, I guess not now. Now it started off going to YouTube first, and then filtering to the other location second. Now it's multi-streamed to 3 locations where it hits there at the same time.
Right. I get what it does, but if it still doesn't give you monetization, what is the point?
But you have to work your way up to it. You can't just jump in and be like, all right, monetize me now.
Yeah, we've been doing this for over 5 years, man. I mean,
exactly. And like I said, it would be a lot better if I had more time to go with it. If I could put out videos a day, sure, I'd be monetized sooner than later. But I don't. Yeah. I get freedom to do 2 live streams a week. That's about it. Maybe a couple reels if I have a few minutes. But that's just not.
It should be as simple as, okay, you're sending it to Twitter, you're sending it to Rumble, you're sending it to YouTube, and it should somehow all 3 work together to build you what you need. And unfortunately, the system isn't set up to do that.
No, because each platform wants the other to fail.
Yes, thank you, David. That's what I've been trying to say, and it was the same.
And we're trying to play the system within being, like funding both sides of the war. We're funding both sides of the thing, so that way whoever wins will be on the winning team.
Well, there ain't no winning, so
no.
There ain't no winning if you don't try.
Getting off their ass and actually doing something.
Hold on, I've been on BitChute for 9 years. I've been on YouTube longer. I am monetized on BitChute, and it ain't much. It's only a couple bucks a year, but I
probably still have a video rendering on BitChute.
But I'm just saying, sometimes I get
going up on DLive and what was that other?
I walked away from DLive. That one sucked.
Yeah, DLive sucked. Odyssey sucked.
Actually, wasn't it funny? Our last broadcast on DLive was our biggest numbers, and that was only after we stopped.
Yeah, but it was such a pain in the ass.
They all have their problems, Adam, and that's by design because Google, I'm sure, is able to keep everyone down by
copyright on the software, right? They want to make sure the software. Google simplified its software before it copyrighted it, so no one can build a better Google because no one can simplify it more or make it run on all systems. So now you have to build your systems more complex than Google. Otherwise, unless you can come up with a faster, better, cheaper system, you won't beat Google.
And all honestly, StreamYard probably has patents on ways that make StreamYard a lot easier because they were kind of the first in the business.
Well, no, they weren't, because OBS and all that was, but they forced you to use them.
But the problem with OBS is you can't have multiple people with you unless they're in the room with you.
Yeah, because OBS was designed and built for single streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, so OBS is cool in some ways. Some aspects is nice. I couldn't use it.
Yeah, same. I'm on an iMac. I can't use it. It doesn't work for crap.
But the thing is, StreamYard. What's the other? 3 of them came out at the same time, and they're all licensed by. They don't have copyrights. They have license agreements with Google.
Well, Google's gay because we had Google Hangouts and it was all fine, and then they screwed with it and they did all this with all the other ones.
Well, they got rid of Hangouts because they wanted to simplify the system so that they could go for what they call the lowest common denominator. So no one could come up with a better patent on streaming than their streaming algorithm.
But didn't make it simpler. It made it more complicated because, again, then you got all the... Like, when we had Hangouts, there was no issues. You could join off your phone. You could join off your computer. There wasn't any issues.
Yeah.
Like, it rolled so easy on YouTube. I mean, I think the worst part was when we had to manually enter the key into the YouTube.
That was... But then they came up with a system to read the keys off your account.
And then they did the StreamYards, which, again, it took a minute because, it was the whole...
Key sharing,
For what StreamYards was a pain in the arse to do at the beginning, it made up for it, sure, but it's the same thing. None of us should have to pay to do this. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, this is us having fun with friends. There should be no reason for us to pay them to be able to do this.
Well, they want to...
Their crappy software that they make us use,
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, the answer, they want as many eyeballs on Mr. Beast, and the only way to do that is to get rid of as many streamers as they can.
I don't know what a Mr. Beast is, so again, I don't care about YouTube or any of this because my life doesn't revolve around this shit. I come on here to hang out with my friends, like you got. What I mean?
Just saying, their business model is not our business model.
Yeah.
There is no business model. They just say, fuck you, pay me. Sorry, pay me. Give me your money and then keep doing it. And then they'll silence you as they've done. And again, everybody still flows to YouTube. Nobody's ever going to overthrow YouTube.
No, because the people, that's right, because there are too many.
Yep.
But
Rumble, I thought, dude, come on, Seth. How many of these different ones that we try that we were hoping for? And like you said, you've enjoyed it. But it literally was a pain in the ass and still didn't work on a phone. And it's 2026. There's no excuse for any of these to be this complicated. Like, either do it right so we can use it or shut it all down.
Yeah, but there's,
waiting on an EMP.
There's just things that has to be done. Like, you can't have some of the same things as one other person because of copyright. They've patented techniques. They've done things that Rumble's had to work around so much stuff because I would bet money that there are patents, licensing, everything on StreamYard on the way that they even link stuff. Because like I said, StreamYard was probably one of the first ones that actually got it right. It wasn't perfect.
I think the only one they had was screen sharing, and they licensed to everybody screen sharing.
Yeah, but realistically, it was. I'm assuming Rumble had to go in and rebuild the thing from the ground up using new ways to do it that StreamYard didn't already have a patent on, or other people didn't have a patent on.
Right.
Everybody wants to get their dollar bill for something.
That's what StreamYards is Google, because they made us use it.
Well,
None of us wanted to use StreamYard.
I don't think it's Google, but
I thought it was Google.
I don't know. Was it Google?
We went from, it was Google that got rid of Hangouts in place of StreamYard. So would that not be Google the head company?
No. StreamYard was licensed right? StreamYard was using the licensed streaming algorithm for video streaming, right, from Google, which they had to pay thousands of dollars a month for. Hangouts was free, and they said it was unfair competition, and Google agreed to shut it down rather than go to court and solve the licensing issue or give up licensing fees, because StreamYard wasn't the only one paying licensing fees for the Google streaming algorithm, which streamlines the video compression.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's everything works, and it doesn't. I don't know.
Well, again, it's 2026. It shouldn't be that complicated. They have the cell phone app. It should work. You know what I mean? It should not. I should not have to. In order to verify it, it wants me to upload a video or comment. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. All I'm trying to do is come on this damn show. That was it.
Yes, I don't know. That's a separate states issue. A lot of states and a lot of countries have laws now that require identification and verification, and it's bogging down social media. I'm still getting asked to verify that I'm over 18, but because of my country's laws.
So I was looking up iPhone 12.
Yeah.
And that is a pretty old.
Yeah, this is an old ass system.
Yeah, but they're saying
for 3 years, and I bought it after a Samsung Note 4 because you couldn't update the 4 anymore.
Yeah.
So then when I finally did break down and get a phone, I got for 2 years. This phone was $5 for 2 years.
Apparently, the iPhone 12 is expected to remain functional and receive major iOS updates until approximately 2027.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know. So you still should be well within software ramifications to use your phone.
We'll get it figured out, man. It's just like I was trying to do it today so I could come on here after updating the phone today. You know what I mean? I didn't think it'd be this big of a pain in the ass.
Well, you got to think, like, how long's it been since you updated it last?
I have never updated the phone because I didn't have to.
See, I mean, my phone updates at least once a month.
Yeah, but I never do any of that because I don't use all I do on my phone is call people and sometimes send pictures. I don't stream, I jump on StreamYards, but I'm not hosting. But they send me the link, I click on it, I'm able to jump on my phone and go. You know what I mean? Right to it.
I mean, you got Facebook or anything?
You're on Facebook? The apps update on their own. You don't have to update your iOS for a Facebook to work.
At a certain point, you do have to update the iOS because the Facebook, the apps themselves will not run on certain iOS levels.
But what I'm saying is it's been running on 16.5, which was 3 years old up until now. And the only reason I had to update Facebook was fine. Twitter was fine. The two things that weren't fine was one, StreamYards, because I could not, when I clicked on the app to go on it, it would just not work.
Yeah.
And then to do this.
Gotcha.
And then Chase is the main reason because I would not be able to use my Chase online from my phone unless I updated my iOS, which is bullshit because I've been able to do it all the way up until now. Like I said, 3 years. And that's because of what they're doing to change it. Now, I could get on my tablet, like Dave said, or my computer and still use my Chase to pay my bills and all that. But I don't have any bills once I pay off my car. This whole digital BS world can kiss my arse. I'm done after this. Like I said, I don't care. If I can't stream my phone from my phone, I don't give a crap. Because none of this matters in the aspect of actual life. You do this for fun too. Like you said, this is your hobby. That's great. And again, we all get together and do this. But this does not control any of our lives.
No, that's why I didn't want to pay for it.
And be fine.
That's why I didn't want to pay for it. Now,
right? No, exactly. And I'm with you.
I will say, have to. Unless, so I have Rumble Premium until I think November.
I was going to say, wasn't it damn near until the end of the year, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's November because see, we had StreamYard and it. Yep. When StreamYard did their price hike, we had just skated under the radar before the price change, so I got an extra year out of it. after their price hike. Then it came around. I think it was September. We moved to Rumble Studio because I couldn't afford $500 a year.
Right? No, that's what you were saying. Yeah. Well, and then, it shouldn't be that much anyway.
But so we went from September to like October. I got it in October. I think it's the end of October. But anyway, nonetheless, Black Friday, they had a special on StreamYard that I kind of wish I missed, but it was the original price.
Right.
If I can hit that original price this year, we're doing it. I'll go back to StreamYard because I do, unless this makes significant improvements.
Oh yeah, and I hope it does, because again, that's what my bitch is. I should not have to take over 2 hours and then come on my computer and have to turn it on for the first time so that I could come on. And again, that's how bad I wanted to come and be on the show with you guys. It's just aggravating as hell because it should not have been. And I sent you the messages and you were trying to, and thank you. Because again, I was trying to read it from a phone and I'm like, I can't read this.
Yeah.
Because it's itty bitty, you know? And again, it was like, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hated about the computer industry. It's always overcomplicating everything. Yeah. Always updating the code just so that, just to force you to buy a new phone. Because all the software companies,
that's what they're going to do.
Go out of business.
Yep,
always updating.
Yeah,
like you said up to maybe 27 with the iOS. Now, and again, they're up to 26 something. All I did was go from 16.5 to 18, so that I could try to get on here and do stuff, and it's already not working. So that's why I'm like, unless they come out with a phone that is actually going to be able to stream from continuously,
that's what they're complaining about with
battery life on top of it. Like, I'm not buy a new phone.
That's what was killing the Windows phone. People would buy a new Windows phone, turn it on, and it wouldn't work unless they upgraded it and took it back. Because they're constantly upgrading their phone, take it back to metadata.
And it's got apps in it, but you got to subscribe in order to use the stuff that's in your new car. That's okay. I don't need a new car. I got 3 anyway.
Why? Yeah, I think that was absolute ridiculous. Oh, but it's we need your email. No, you don't. We bought a car, not a bloody computer.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't buy a car so you can spam my car and my home account.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'd have known though that it would have been, if I'd have known there was going to be a deal like a Black Friday sale, I would have just waited.
Yeah, but there was a Black Friday sale.
It was a Black Friday sale that was half off.
Yeah,
and like I said, if I had known it was going to be there, I probably would have just waited and got back, stayed on stream.
Well, they shouldn't have raised the price to $500 to begin with. That's just greed.
It was because they sold a company.
Yeah,
they sold the company. Yeah.
They sold a company to somebody that they didn't do anything. Like people that I'm still part of the Facebook group for StreamYard, by the way. And I watch what people are saying. And the people they're asking for all these like updates for audio and video and stuff. And that's great. It's things that actually need to be done. There needs to be audio control for the shared screen because I need to be able to adjust the volume of the video game that I'm playing for this because I don't want. There's sometimes that I want to be me and David's conversation on Coffee and Gaming is more important than what's being played on the game.
You can't.
And how many times have you had issues? Hold on. How many times have you had issues too where you're playing it, you couldn't turn it down, and it was so darn loud we'd have to scream over it?
Exactly. So, like, that's one thing I've been pushing big for independent audio controls over the screen, and it was like, oh, now we're just going to give you more options on the photos you can upload on your things, and we're going to give you squared. You guys are going to get to be squared and have circles and like the portholes and stuff that Jeff uses on World Class BS and drives me up a wall because they have like little itty bitty screens, and it's like that's so annoying.
Or they say, hey, this month the new and latest update, we have a new font.
Yeah,
Who
dude,
cares?
it's so stupid. Like they're putting so much effort into the dumbest features, and that is one reason. That's one reason why I was kind of okay with stepping away with StreamYard, because they won't give you what you want.
Well, and again, after they sold it and they raised the price, you're not getting what you want. Why in the world would you want to pay? Like,
exactly.
But it was already overpriced.
That much anyway.
$10
Remember when it was $10? Like that was
overpriced.
Yeah,
but
because it was like $10 to be able to have 10 people on and all that. Like that was fun.
Yeah,
they didn't need to make more than that.
10 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they brought in this. Oh, you could have an 11th sitting in the green room, and you can rotate them. And then they started bringing in consultants, and then they said, okay, you can have different premium accounts with different storage levels, and then we got HD.
So hang on, I just logged into StreamYard because I wanted to see what it is. Oh, update! You can now do polls. You can run polls.
A poll.
Big freaking deal.
Who cares? Yeah, it's a poll. Ooh, I got a poll for you.
Update.
I got a poll
StreamYard
for you.
has a fresh look, but works the same. Who cares?
That's crazy.
Update. Tailor your messages with custom ticker settings. Who cares? Give me audio controls. Oh, wait, you can't because you don't know what you're doing.
No, you don't.
Special upgrade to the advanced plan for $1.
Yeah. But there used to be more streaming options than StreamYard, and unfortunately, those two were, remember they had all the, the fancy overlay text and tickers and all sorts of things, and someone would donate.
Hold up. Now they're offering special offers. Try for just $1.
There you go. Right, of course. How do you turn your camera on? I am trying to figure out I figured out the microphone to mute.
Scroll down.
Beside the microphone button, there's the camera, and it's red.
Mine doesn't have that. All it's got is all I see is microphone.
Can't identify.
You might not.
Can't identify your camera.
I have to update it.
Where are you? Where are you on your phone or on your computer?
No, I'm on my. I got it. I had to pull.
You can change camera.
No, it wasn't that. It was the screen was too tiny.
Oh,
so I couldn't see the. Hold on.
There's a little button beside your camera that allows you to change.
I didn't have the camera, David. You weren't listening.
He hit the screen too little.
All I saw was the microphone. Everybody's microphone.
Oh, you didn't. That's what you meant. I thought you meant the symbol was too little to press.
No, I mean literally. I was able to mute myself.
You couldn't literally see
no
it.
Camera.
David, it's cool.
Right.
Just don't worry about it.
It's cool.
You got it.
Yeah. We got it. Yeah. No, it was the stupid
it.
Screen.
Yes, of course it is.
So they're now trying to give you 1 week access for $1.
1 week.
Week access for $1.
I got your week right here.
Oh, they've got AI now. You can AI and generate clips. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Upgrade. Oh,
you can also, if you're a premium account, you can also dual screen to vertical mode for AI generated vertical mode.
Let's see.
StreamYard.
So they've got a deal on right now. It's $35 a month for core, and you get, I'm assuming if you do, I guess $35 a month is for all 12 months, or is it $35 a month for 11 months? Most of the time you do one that gives you, like, if you set up a plan for once a year, it'll do build yearly.
I believe it's $45.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is $35 if you do if you annually bill it, it's 22% off, which is $35 a month. So 35 times 12 is 420. Oh my gosh, we got $100 off because
remember when
everybody's leaving
10 to 25. That's when I was like, nah, I ain't paying 25 because
it's
30. That's
$20
what you don't think
a month.
about. Oh, it's only 25 a month. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It was 20 a month, but if you paid it annually, you only paid for 11 months. And I was like, bet that's not a bad deal. So we did it. Then it was $25 a month. Tommy tapped out at that point. And I was like, well, I'll do it for a little while. And then it was like, boom, $45 a month, which was $500 a year.
I was like,
damn
near double, man. It went from like 25 to almost 50, right?
It's $44.99.
Yeah.
But there was no in between. It was $25.99 and jumped straight to $44. Like, you guys are smoking crack, dude. I ain't doing it. So
especially when
can't afford food, you ain't gonna be paying for this shit.
Yeah, I rolled
especially out. When the vast majority of YouTubers are never going to be monetized, right?
I don't know. I mean, ain't Anime Night's monetized?
Yeah, but it just because you're monetized,
like I said,
doesn't mean you make enough money.
I'm not trying to disrespect him by any means because he does his thing. Yeah. He's got time to put into shorthand videos. He's got time for multiple streams a week. Like, I'm not jealous of him, but I do see his growth.
I'm not jealous of him. I'm just saying.
Lucky dude. He got time. Lucky dude. I've got to
watch. That's just it. You have to have a career in YouTube in order to do that. Which we all knew that at the beginning of this.
Yeah, this is my hobby, bro. Yeah. I got this used Rodecaster Pro from Justin from the Podcasting Dead. I think I paid like $150 for it. I bought a microphone. Actually, no. It came with a No, I bought a microphone, and then I bought another. I've got another microphone for this in case a guest comes over. It's in my desk drawer here. I
picked it up on. Hook you up with some good stuff too, like trying to get your setup right. If I remember right, he was trying to really help you get your game on.
He did. He threw me a huge deal because these things brand new were $600. Yeah. He sold it to me for like $150 or something like that. I went out and bought me a microphone on Amazon for $90, and then all the stuff. I mean, like, he helped me out big time. He even let me, like, I didn't have the money. I bought this. I didn't have the money to get me a microphone. He let me borrow a microphone for like a year. Because he was like, I don't need it. He's like, I got a bunch of microphones here. He said, you take this, get going, get off, get your ball rolling. Yeah. And he's like, you can bring it back whenever you want, And I was like, bet, thank you. So I kept it. I think it was like 9 months or something. I ended up keeping it. And when I went back like the next year or something, I had 2 microphones. I took it. But I got room for 4 microphones on here. This thing is tits, man. I wish I had it I wish I had had it the night that you guys came down here.
Yeah, I was gonna say when everybody was in the garage.
Bet money, dude. If we can ever do that again, I hope we could do that again. If it ever happens again, brother, I will go out and buy 2 more microphones.
I paid a car off this year. After I paid a car off, I have to replace all the sensors. After I replace all the sensors, then I can actually make plans. I'm looking at 27. Well, and again, I was waiting on Dave because if he ends up coming to America, wherever your ass is going, I'm coming to.
Dude, I'm telling you. Well, I am telling you now. If we can get something together, it will be. We will have the hookup set up for a podcast. We will do it, and it's going to be a blast. I can't.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I had to pay up money for a repair on my bleeding computer just to keep going.
Yeah.
So I keep getting setbacks, but I'm trying.
No, I would say that night was the best, the most fun I've ever had doing this, and I would love to do it again. It would be a blast.
Well, and again, I mean, you got to remember, man, that was, let's see, Little Sweetness there was still, and Violet was still, both my daughter and your wife were still impregnated when we were all together.
Yep.
So, and you've got her and the boy now. So that's what I mean. It's been a minute since we did that. And again, it was really fun. Yeah. To be able to do something like that. And I'll throw David in the mix and let's do it again. You know what I mean? So especially
I'd love to do it, man. But the gods be crazy sometimes.
Don't worry, Coffin Nails. On my way down, I'll stop and pick you up, and we'll just take the Prius. I'll just kidnap you.
Okay, sounds good.
I mean, you're only 3 hours south of me, baby. I'll get you. Don't worry.
One of the reasons why I gave up StreamYard was not just the price. Is most of my audience is not on YouTube; it's on BitChute.
Gotcha.
As much as I like my YouTube audience, I love for you all to join me over there, by the way, over at Future Fantasy or Dave Talk Stuff, or both. It's just that it works out that most people would rather watch me on BitChute.
I quit YouTubing, man. Like, I mean, I go on the toy streams and stuff, and I'll jump on Friday with Vinny. And now that I was so happy because I was like, because of the dogs, I'm like, oh, dude, if I mean, the 9 o'clock thing's killing me. Like, if you were back at 8, I'd jump on a lot easier because half the time how many times I fall asleep, and I fell asleep because I made it the next morning.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I literally fell asleep with the link and everything sitting here in this chair. I'd be sitting here, next thing I know, I wake up and it's like 4 a.m, and I'm like, well, I got a couple hours till coffee and gaming.
Yeah. Which by the way, it's after 10:30. I need to be getting out of here.
Hey, I did make it.
Yeah.
Speaking of coffee and gaming,
we're going to be going live at 7 a.m.
Don't forget, folks.
Yeah. So, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks, David. Thanks, Dr. Galvanales. Super fan, Adam. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. So much things going on in my head right now. And Channel Dad, who just decided to take out of here. So, whatever.
Well, it's nothing out of normal for him.
Adam, I guess you haven't seen the new intro yet.
No, sir.
We used a lot of AI. I'll play that as the exit because you're on it. You're on it.
Thank you.
You're on the last little bit.
I mean, and again, man, I'm so sorry that I haven't been able to get on. I have been trying, but bro, I'm up at like 4 o'clock every morning. So,
I feel you.
I got that 4 a.m. schedule, so staying up late's hard. But
I feel
again,
you. Hey,
I am so happy I was able to jump on here, man. And I do want to say, personally, I have hung out with Seth. I have hung out with Coffin Nails. We have broke bread at a 5-star restaurant with St. Elmo's in Indy.
Sure did.
And I hope
I'm jealous I missed it on Saturday.
I know.
But hey, let me. I'm gonna play that real quick so Adam, you can see it, and we can talk over it too. I don't care. I'm not gonna make us mute mics or anything. But this is the new intro. I love it. It's kind of a brainchild. Like, I used AI to mess with it some. Let's see. Is it gonna be? Oh yeah, we're okay.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Look at what's going on. I just thought that was funny. Dave, get off there. My favorite's Dr. Coffin, to be honest with you, right there. The man.
My favorite.
There it is. Right there.
I love it.
Folks, favorite,
I changed my profile. YouTube.
That's his real profile picture. This is the fake one. This is one image.
Rodale's got some wide shoulders in there. Friends of the show. I got Benny, I got Anime 9, Justin, JP, F and Hey, you got a little LMP right there actually for you.
LP, baby.
That's it. Hey,
Nice.
you guys, thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. We'll see you 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we'll be back next Friday night for more Men's Room, War Room, whatever you call it. Hey, you guys have a great day. Take care, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Good day, sir.
Later, dudes.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Hell, I got to go.
Peace out.
Burn in hell, New World Order. Fuck you. Fuck you, New World Order. Fuck you, Bill Gates.
I love you. You gotta do better than that. I love you.